just want to start off with a point of some relevance. I'm just reading from the Companies House Register, a statement which has produced a lot of speculation around the place. This is from RiverOak Strategic Partners. It says, one active person with significant control, Mr. Anthony Freudmann of 50 Broadway, Westminster. Nature of control, 75% or more. And that statement has had a lot of publicity. It means, I suppose, that in theory I have the right to fire George Yerrell, Niall Lawler, and that I'm actually secretly taking control of everything and become the kind of Donald Trump of Manston. The reality is somewhat different. So what I propose to do to clear the air once and for all is actually read from an exchange of emails with our solicitors. So it goes like this. We start with that, and I then write saying to our solicitor, Holly Gallagher, can you check this out? It may have been correct when the company was formed, but everything changed when the deal was concluded with our investors. She replies, Dear Tony, this is literally Friday. The persons of significant control information at Companies House only needs to be updated annually upon submission of the confirmation statement, which has replaced the old annual return. This is why you are still showing as the only person with significant control. You will recall that during the negotiations with Helix, the name is out there, so I have no problem in mentioning it, they told us that no person on their side of the transaction would qualify as a person of significant control, that's having more than 25%. Accordingly, the present position is that RiverOak Strategic Partners has no persons of strategic control. We can, if you wish, file a new confirmation statement ahead of time, so this information is on the public record. Alternatively, we can leave the record as it stands for now, and it will be updated when we file the annual return in July. So I have replied to her, not surprisingly, thank you, Holly, can you please file a new confirmation statement now? Because it's being stated on social media that I control 75% of the company, and she replies, this is being done instantly. That's the explanation for that, and what I can tell you, and Sir Roger Dale referred to our investors when he gave his evidence on Thursday, that this is a company where no one person qualifies as a person of significant control as defined in the New Companies Act. So certainly not me. There is a consortium of people, their names are on the public record. We have 3 directors who are based in Zurich in Switzerland who represent very significant financial interests, which, of course, is another reason why we've been able to spend so liberally, but essentially on preparing the case that you all saw unfold last week. I felt it was important that we get that out on the record, and to be frank, we missed it. I mean, I didn't realise that once the deal was done, they wouldn't file an amended statement until July. I know now, some sharp-eyed person writing for one of the other less friendly sites, the mystery is solved. And if you look in the company's register on Monday, I think you'll find that it's all been put right. And just to say a little bit more about RiverOak Strategic Partners, and again, you know, I know this is a place and a project that's full of conspiracy theories of all sorts. Some of them are probably justified, but in this case, not so much. We were faced with this situation. RiverOak Inc. of Connecticut had funded and moved this project forward. We were being told that there ought to be a UK registered entity that was responsible, and we also knew that when we applied for the DCO and when we applied for the CAA licensing, we would need a UK registered entity. So when we went to the market last year to raise the funds that we needed, it was a precondition. We said to potential funders, this has all got to be done through a UK registered company. And our partners accepted that. What then happened was nothing particularly sinister. The creation of a new company, of which which there were 6 directors. Their names are out there. Niall Hall, myself and George Gerald are 3, and the other 3 are Nicholas Rothwell, Rico Seitz, and Gerhard Häusler, who represent the investment side, all very reputable Swiss people. As we created it, the issue arose about a link with the original RiverOak. We were concerned with 2 things. We did not want to give the impression of something that was different from what it really was. So where we got to late last year was to the point where we said, this is a standalone British company. It has its shareholders and its directors. It isn't directly linked to the American government. We took the decision to do it that way, and the point was raised last week in the inquiry about George and Niall, and it's true, they're no longer directors of RiverOak Connecticut. Why? Because they are now focusing full-time on this project rather than anything else. Now that's not to say that there's no relationship anymore. George Gerald will tell you, he still spends time at the RiverOak office in Stanford. Relations are very cordial, and who knows where these things may lead. But for the moment, that's the position. No mystery, nothing sinister. RiverOak Strategic Partners is the new company. We'll continue to call ourselves RiverOak for short. We can be RSP as well, it doesn't really matter very much. We've made a full declaration to the Planning Inspectorate, and the application, when it's submitted in, hopefully, July, August, will be in the name of RiverOak Strategic Partners. So that's, that out of the way, and as it were, on the record. I'm sorry if anyone feels that they've been deceived or misled. I'm not sure what else we could have done about it. It's a perfectly normal and sound business approach to things, and it does mean that all our records now are filed in the UK, and insofar as the law requires it, anyone searching against us can find whatever they want to know about us, because the records will be there.